Hello, Star Wars CCG players, fans, and folks who just want to hang out with me and Carl on a Wednesday afternoon. Garrett Larson here, Dead Body on Slack in the forums, joined by Carl. Say hello.
Hi, everyone. I hope it is warmer where you are at than for me. I'm at -4 right now.
Oh, wow, we're slightly warmer than that here in Minnesota, but not much. Like, in fact, now
Yeah.
you got me wondering. It was negative when I woke up this morning. I'm going to check my weather app right now. We're a solid +4. That's all Fahrenheit for the folks who are in Celsius. Carl's below zero, and I'm somewhere between 0 and 112. I don't actually know how Celsius works. So we'll,
I
we'll
only know it from the drink that I actually consume on a regular basis.
yeah, but I don't know how that works out into the math. I know -40 is the same temperature,
Yeah.
and I think boiling is 100 degrees Celsius, and that's about what I know. And all of our Euro friends who are watching this are, I promise, just decrying the U.S. education system right now.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying they are.
Yeah.
So what we've got here, and it looks like they just started, is Joe Olsen on light side in the Outrider Cup. He is playing Watch Your Step versus Casper Jorgensen or Jorgensen. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with Jorgensen because I'm Scandinavian and that's how I think it should be pronounced. And he is on Shadow Collective. Now, this is part of the Outrider Cup. You probably hear from us every time about how the Outrider Cup works, but this is the best of the Euros and rest of the world versus the best of the Americans. Joe Olsen, I mean, he didn't win Worlds this year, but I do think he probably qualifies as one of the best of the U.S. players. Are you going to
I mean,
disagree with me there?
absolutely not. He's the team captain. And interestingly enough, this is a rematch of the game 2 of 2025's World Championship between Mr. Joe Olsen piloting this deck against Greg Shaw on the Shadow Collective side.
And if memory
Um,
serves, Greg won that one, but it was very close. Am I correct?
you are correct. I think the consensus is that Shadow Collective is slightly favored in this matchup because they have enough presence on the ground between their shots and their blaster tricks, defensive fires, that they can usually do a pretty good job of keeping Watch Your Step off the ground. And they have one big ship that's really tough to get through because of the Kira game text in interacting with both Han and Dryden. Um, it's not like decidedly a favored matchup for Shadow Collective, but I think they have a little bit of an edge.
And I think you're right. I think it also depends a lot on what version of Watch Your Step you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we see Joe, pretty standard start, walk lane, I must be allowed to speak combo, and squadron assignments. Casper with security precautions, inconsequential losses, and you'll be dead, which means he's probably not running the Gall combo,
Mm-hmm.
the mobilization points for Gall to make things immediately lost, which does actually put Watch Your Step at least a little better position on the ground because Watch Your Step is mostly little weenies who
Yep.
are real easy to shoot. But if you're not
Yeah.
shooting, if all you're doing is shooting them and you're not making them immediately lost, you're potentially eating multiple battle destiny, and it can turn into a trade game real quick.
Yeah, and it mostly is going to go that way because none of the guns in Shadow Collective make reduce forfeit, right? They can't be
They
used to
don't.
satisfy attrition,
They
so
do.
overflow potential is a little tough.
Yeah, you're not overflowing Watch Your Step without Maul's saber or without those guns, but you're removing multiple characters per battle.
Yep.
And it's really a can Watch Your Step remove multiple characters in return,
Yeah.
and is Watch Your Step running Kessel, because
Yeah,
that
so
Kessel drain adds up real quick,
yep.
and the Kessel run retrieval, but that's completely worthless against First Order, which is another deck you had to, Joe
Which
had to
is
submit
what
this deck before he knew who he was playing and what he was playing against.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why have seen most of the Watcher Step decks kind of move toward just running Corellia and running Premier Han V that adds to the drain because it kind of fixes the math there. It doesn't put out the system I mean, while the drain bonus is great,
It gives up
um,
icons.
it gives up icons in the first order matchup. So you've seen kind of this move in the first major we saw like this really come out was Euros actually, with the deck list that wasn't playing Kessel, moved away from the Kessel run, was playing, a Jedi's Resilience. And I think there was a version that someone played that was doing careful planning, or when a battle starts, insurrection planning, where you could
Yep.
draw Destiny, yeah, and
That
activate that much
was
force.
MHT was running that at least one careful planning at Worlds.
Yeah.
So we see Joe did go grab Kessel. So he
Okay.
has this built with being able to do Kessel things in mind. And he uses squadron assignments to get Mirax, throws Mirax at Tatooine, uses the I must be allowed to cheat text to grab a card from used pile, which this is something Joe and Team 5 really like to do is they build decks that put on this early pressure
Mm-hmm.
with the used pile pull saying, hey, I know what I can go get there. Like you saw Joe when he searched for Kessel took a little while. There
Yep.
was some dead time where he was absolutely counting how many barriers do I have, how many copies of, if he's running alternatives, what does he have to not get beat down in space?
Mm-hmm.
And we see he then played all wings combo, which Casper grabbed on Tentacle and used it to
Mm-hmm.
go the Millennium Falcon V. Joe's playing a very aggressive line here, and I like the line.
Yeah.
You know,
We kind of didn't do a summary of Shadow Collective first turn. So it was they pulled the 2-0. They had the other first light sight from hand, deployed Maul with the chamber, moved him over, drew a couple, go. Oh, and played Tentacle.
Joe just drew everything, so he's not even bluffing a barrier.
I mean,
I'm
I mean, right now Wedge is still going to forfeit for 6 even before the flip. So they're getting a
yeah,
Battle Destiny. I'm not.
but with the first light being pullable, like this is a line that if Casper has the right hand,
Mhm.
this could go real badly for Joe potentially.
I
It's not
think he only
guaranteed
makes
to.
this
But what defense does he have with zero force?
moving into attack position, make it fully immune.
Ultimately, doesn't
Most
matter.
ship,
As Casper grabbed a blaster and set like this is
yeah.
because first light is pullable.
Hmm.
That worries me a little bit as a play.
I
And
mean,
Casper says we're going to spread the other way.
yeah, I think this is the way I wouldn't attack them in space right away, because if you get rid of one ship, they get their battle tricks. The counter beat can be really bad if you go to space too early. Like, you set up on the ground, he's going to own the cantina for the moment because he's got Dengar, who I think adds a battle destiny
He
because of the
does.
objective. So you're
Yep.
getting 2 destiny there. That's not a real fun place to go tangle. So he's going to trade the damage that you're going to get from Kessel. Fine. One next turn, he's going to satisfy resistance. So I think going in space, you only go there toward the end once you've got the ground locked up. But you're right; it could have been a line. I don't think I would have taken it simply because I'd be worried about moving into attack position.
I will say if he had a first strike, I think you absolutely make that play then. But
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that it's a line you had to take. You have to, if you're Joe, be cognizant of, and maybe it is exactly what you said. Joe says, I've got the moving into attack position. If he's got first light in reserve deck, a couple pilots, and the first strike, okay, he got the perfect combo and he took me out. But that's a risk you're willing to take otherwise, potentially.
Yeah.
And you are right that the rebeat does add some amount of scare to it.
Yeah. because like
So,
Joe's activating 12. Casper's got the activation advantage for the moment.
I mean, the
Um,
moment Joe flips, it's going to be right back to
yeah, but he has it for the moment.
even.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be even for that piece. But turn two, he did get an advantage
Yeah.
because Kessel was out, so the icons were there.
That
I doubt
15
Joe.
was big.
Yeah, I doubt Joe pays to drain because I think he'd rather set up.
I agree. As much as I hate the idea of not getting your drain of 3 in, even if it costs you 3,
Hmm.
watch your step needs to set up. You don't want to wait a turn. And Joe does say, yep, I'm not going to drain. He agrees with you.
I think Tom
So,
Kelly, I taught when I was trying to teach myself, or when I first got into the game, I started reaching out to anyone that would play Watch Your Step. And I reached out to Tom Kelly, who, incredibly nice guy. He took pity on me after beating me several times. And he said, every Force and Watch Your Step should be used for setup. And you're just trying to get to the point where you can turn the corner with this deck. And
yep.
paying to drain the first 3 turns is just setting you so far behind. So,
Yep. I don't disagree with that entire discussion. As you see, Joe goes with Han Solo V on the Millennium Falcon V at Corellia. So now that sets up a drain of 2 there.
mm-hmm.
And flips the activation advantage because he adds 2 to his activation with the flip, along with adding 2 just from deploying Corellia. And with
Mm-hmm.
the flip, he cuts those Twixes of Casper's to single.
Yep.
So that being said, Casper's still activating 14. He's got a direct damage ping. He's going to have another direct damage ping next turn because I got to imagine he's going to get a gun on Rook. Like
Yeah.
this is still going to be a race that's really going to depend on who makes the mistake in their opponent's theater
Um,
first. Because I think you have to just say Shadow Collective's theater is ground, Watch Your
mhm.
Step is space. Who's going to get
Yep.
the advantage there?
Yeah, and I think one of the cards I that is going to be key for me is how soon can Joe get to his Tatooine celebration and get that going if he can even survive on the ground, right?
Yeah, like Celebration.
This is a matchup that can come down to 3 forces, what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
and I'm just
Chewie.
interesting. He plays Chewie, pays full freight for Chewie instead of holding him as a react and threaten the react. Like Chewie would have come down for 2 as a react with Han.
Hmm.
And that might be he didn't want the react canceled. And it's just I'll spend the 4, I'll get him in play. Now I've got 2
Yep.
smugglers at each location. Let's dance.
Hmm.
So, and yeah, so Dan is making a point in chat that, what if he goes with Kessel Run V instead of Celebration? If he's got Kessel Run, I would expect Kessel Run V. Like, I'm a little surprised. It wouldn't shock me if next turn he activates 2 and then Walklings for it. Celebration is going to be a little more questionable. Like, it's a card that always feels good in Watch Your Step,
Hmm.
but is so hard to actually get in play against
Yeah.
decks that it will do anything to.
And this is something I want to point out is that I'm looking Casper Shield busted. So um I I don't know in match play with having to turn your deck or not match play, but in this format having to turn your deck list in so early. Could Joe be playing some annoying interrupt that not having the shield can come back? I doubt it, but it's always fun to think about.
I
So
mean, what other shield are you expecting Casper to want to play?
oh none. I think
Like
appropriately
maybe,
these are
yeah,
the 4.
like you don't need the weapon left shield because you'll be dead protects your guns, so those aren't getting
Yeah.
stolen. And Casper says, I'm just paying to drain. And we saw the all wings combo go away, which Joe's perfectly fine with. Luke with
So
lightsaber and blast the door kid. So the all wings combo going away, Joe lost that from hand. The reason he did that is because it is already stacked on Tentacle.
mhm.
It can't get stacked on a useless gesture, so he'll be able to play that for free
Yeah.
as his first interrupt from Lost if he wants to.
Mhm.
And at any point, he'll be able to play it without having to stack it. And he will, however, have to pay for the number of cards stacked, I believe, just to initiate the play from Lost Pile. He just won't have to pay to stack it. And we could have Gurgle or somebody come in and tell me that I'm wrong on that because he doesn't stack it, he doesn't pay, but that's fine. Casper putting the gun on Rook, exactly what, this is how this goes. And there's Danik. So, interestingly enough, we talked about Casper being shield busted. He's setting up for resistance that he doesn't have in play.
Yeah, I just realized that when
And there's
that
the
was the
cold
other
feet.
shield. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So he does have a shield pull. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the language on useless gesture, and it says +1 force for each card here.
Well, it says
So
first must stack it and then pay. So the question is, if you don't stack it, do you have to pay? Ooh, I got him to dead silence. That's a good question.
no,
Well,
I think
Carl
you.
contemplates my
Nice.
thought process. I do want
Yeah.
to thank Jack Bear for a 24-month Prime subscription. You hear
Yep.
this every time from me, and Carl is the best person to have on here. But subscribing via Twitch, doing a Twitch subscription via Amazon Prime, the single easiest way to support the Players Committee. It costs you nothing if you already have Prime, and it absolutely assists in us doing things like this. And we see Joe says, all right, now I'm set up. So he pays to drain at Kessel, and we see Jabba's Twerps and Kira go away, and then he pays to drain for 2 at Tatooine as well.
Yeah, the loss of Kira is really big. I think she's probably the one of the single most important characters in this matchup because she's the reason that you can go fight in space because you can just use her to satisfy all of the battle damage for overflow. So as long as you're accounting for the forfeit.
Agreed. She gives you a line, and we saw Joe went and grabbed Blast the Door Kid, and then dropped Mara using Unita. Dropped Mara in front of Rook and Dengar at the Cantina. I don't hate that play. Rook's shot is really good, but it's not a just. And if Casper initiates the battle, Joe gets the first response anyways. So he can just, all right, I'll blast the door kid. I'll lose 1 instead of 2.
Yep.
And I'm sure Joe has some sort of defense because you have to assume Shadow Collective is playing blast door controls.
It goes in and out. I would think it is kind of important because you're using the defensive fires and things like that. Slots are kind of tough.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good card. It says does it always make the cut? There's certainly decks where it doesn't. I mean, we haven't seen any space from Casper yet, which might be he just completely punted on space and said, nope, I'm just going to go in on adding those couple tricks, although you're really only putting a couple dedicated space cards into this anyways, like your First Light and either Zuckuss and Forlom and Mist Hunter, or you're using Forlom V, and then then you might just have the First Light and you're just, hey, I'm just going to load it up. So we see the You'll Be Dead double ping, and Joe loses Rio Durant and Control Tunnel Vision. Casper says, I'm going to pay. I'm going to make you lose cards because, and there went Kessel Run off reserve. I'm surprised Joe didn't go get that. So, and there's the Found Someone You Have, which is a card that has been around for a long time, but really just recently found favor in coming back in to Watch Your Step, where it's like, look, I can lose it and just free spot retrieve a dude. Like, there's no downside to this.
Yeah, the last turn I was going to notice the one thing that Casper hadn't found was a second gangster to flip the objective, and now he has Hondo going to Mossad. And Joe may be content of, I'm going to drain for 4 for free now. I've got my tricks. You're going to have to grab Blast the Door Kid. If not, I'm going to be able to do that twice.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the pings. Like Joe Casper's threatening a ping of 3, and then
and then
the
drains of
ping would
4,
potentially, and then the
but it
flip
costs
back.
him 9.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
I like everything Joe did there. And there, Joe says, "Hey, I'm not even going to worry about Blasted Orchid. I'm just going to dodge away."
mm-hmm.
Because that also opens him up to he can drain for 1 at the docking bay
Yep.
next turn, which is very good. Again, I think and there is the Lana Dobreed combo to cancel that react. I do think though, Joe having 6 force in his first pile, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
little surprised he didn't walk lean for Kessel Run. I think Kessel Run there's no reason not to get it in play. So
Yeah, especially in this matchup because there's no threat of, because even if they park there, it's going to be, you know, you have moving into attack position. They're probably not going to clear you.
yeah,
You have Outrider still floating, so you could get massive power advantage.
and it's
So,
if nothing else, it's still just a 4 force retrieval. Like
mm-hmm.
in a game that's frankly that's almost a turn of Casper's damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a valuable number. So
He could be playing. Is it effective repairs combo? That could
it
be one of the
would to go get
cards.
it back. Like he could have said,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and he could have built this saying the odds of me facing a first order deck when only one Euro player is going to be playing it is
Mm-hmm.
at best like 1 in 6. So since that's the only deck where Kessel Run's really worthless, he could have said, "Hey, I'm going to go all in and Kessel Run and effective repairs." And although Kessel Run goes out of play, so I don't know. Effective repairs you'd be wanting to grab for other effects
Yeah, I'm
than
just
that,
saying that's
but
probably the only reason. Or he's just like, it's a math race. It's gonna be close.
yeah.
You know.
So, and Joe puts out aim high because he hasn't completed a Kessel Run, which would normally just turn on Chewy. And you say, all right, I completed a Kessel Run. You can't retrieve
Mm-hmm.
because Chewy's probably never going to die up at Tatooine. Like,
No, I
I'm,
think
and this is part of where I said, if I was Casper, if I had anywhere near the cards to go at it, I might have made a run at Mirax real quick,
mm-hmm.
just because once Joe's flipped and drawing multiple Battle Destiny, now it goes from a you might be able to do something to there's no chance.
Yeah.
And that
Fades
is
coming
my
off as
concern.
Fades, I think, came from hand because it does nothing this
Yeah.
matchup. So,
Casper does not have any drain bonuses that he's going to
mm-mm.
do,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Yep.
Joe just says, all right, well, I'm going to drain for 2 at Tatooine
Mm-hmm.
and drain for 2 at Kessel. And he's only got 7 cards in hand, which is maybe the one thing you're like, ooh, I don't love this. We see
Yeah.
disarmed off reserve and a second Hondo off reserve that disarmed Casper probably would have liked because there went Forlom with gun from hand because I expect
He's
we
probably
saw
got
a
both
Luke
of
with
them.
lights. Well, we saw a Luke with lightsaber go.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got another Luke with lightsaber. He's got another. He certainly got Val. He might have Lando as
There
we
she
see
is.
Val. So the something special going from reserve is actually a rough card loss as well for Casper because that's another grabber. And you like having
Mm-hmm.
grabbers.
Yeah.
So
Um, it'll be curious if Joe has a Hear Me Baby to stop defensive fire. That'd be an interesting because I imagine.
is Casper even? I mean, defensive fire, it's great when it hits,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably only like a one of in the deck in a lot of cases.
Greg Shaw
So
ran 3.
yeah, Greg's deck was a kind of a weird
I think that's
Shadow
kind of,
Collective though.
but the new allies
His
guys, I
was
think that's.
very low on dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and some of that was because he's like, look, my defensive fires are going to hit, and I'm not going to lose my guys, and that's a plus. But like
Mm-hmm.
Joe's deck, or excuse me, Greg's deck was not what I would say is the very traditional.
Yeah.
And there we
And there's the
see
bear.
finally with the barrier, which I think might be the right play. Like Val makes forfeit 0 as well, but like I'd take the risk on Val. Luke is almost a guaranteed hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that also forces Luke to stay there. Like if Casper hits a guy, makes him lose another guy, like now Joe's got to decide what he wants to do with just Luke and a smuggler, which is a little less than ideal.
Yeah.
Now, if Joe drops celebration here, our entire conversation this whole match is just going to be out the window because Joe's just playing stuff I was not expecting out of Watch Your Step. And if he's got celebration, this would be where you play it.
Yeah.
Like you have your two sites. You're not always going to have that. Take
Yeah.
advantage of it.
I'd be curious what card he pulled with the Corn Horn pull from
Well, he
Smuggler's
got two
Blues.
pulls because he got one from Talon and one from Corrin.
Yeah.
So honestly, it wouldn't shock me if it was something like Talon pulled him Corrin, Corrin pulled him Luke, and he just said,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm going to get this combo rolling and I'm going to drop a pile of guys. Interesting, he hasn't just, snap gone into starting a battle. Like,
I think what he's thinking about is his force count for next turn because he pays one to initiate a battle. He can hit clear fine. But does he have, and can he save enough force for his tricks for next turn? Because the battle at the cantina, you're going to have to pay for the second blast the door kid.
yeah,
And does he
but
just need to save one extra?
yeah, and
Maybe.
and that might be the question. And instead, so he says, I'm not even going to battle. I'm going to spread a little
Mm-hmm.
bit and move, which I
Yeah.
don't hate. Again, that's a solid, it gives him some options to go with.
Yep.
All
And
right,
it
so he
makes the,
moves everybody but Luke. But that Cantina battle still feels a little sketch, and now Blast the Door Kid is not in play. If he blasts the Door Kid, it's
it's Val
Val
versus
versus
that. Yeah.
Rook and Dengar. So now he's
Yeah.
got to consider, if Casper's got 10 cards in hand,
Mm-hmm.
does he have enough to come down and fight back and actually do some serious damage there? Like, and
Potentially.
ooh,
Like,
Casper activates all but two, so he is not.
well, he can recirculate. All he'd have
Oh
to do is
yeah,
just
he'd
put a
have to hit.
gangster at, or hit. He could just put a gangster at the docking bay
Yeah,
or the Bespin location, or
or
pair
just
him
hit.
up there with Danik, right? So that's not a
Yep.
concern.
And there's the
There's the
disarm.
disarm on Val.
All right, interesting. He disarms Val instead of Hondo, or
You
instead of
mean instead of
Luke.
Luke?
Yeah, and yeah, Kiss
Um,
My Wookie. An offensive stunning leader battle could be real gross here. And we see Joe loses the Outrider off reserve along with It's a Hit. Um, the It's a Hit is kind of bad, although he's certainly contesting ground enough that he might not be facing that many Tatooine drains.
yeah.
The Outrider is kind of rough because Joe might be out of space. Like that might be his space, but how is Casper going to get rid of it? I just don't know. And we see, so Casper paid 6 to drain for 2 after pinging for 2. And a few maneuvers was the last card lost, so that Destiny 6 could be nice. There's Voss, so there he's going to get the flip so he can recirculate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's got a gun. I got to imagine he doesn't have a gun in reserve. He does
No,
not.
that
He
one came
drops
from
the
hand.
Black Sun Blaster from hand. So, Rutro Shaggy.
Yeah, because if you had a quite a mercenary to stop the stunning leader play, now you have to decide if you're
Yeah.
going to use that for Ponda Baba or not.
Like, do you cancel Ponda Baba first, or do you, because the reality is, yeah, I mean, Talon card makes his guys very hard to hit. I mean,
Yeah.
Talon makes, he's defense value 5, Val's a 4, Corrin's a 6, and Mara's a 7.
Yeah,
But all it
you
takes is
just
hitting one of them. Like, it takes hitting Talon, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
everybody else is gettable. And Rook lets him peek at the top 2 of reserve, and then it doesn't reshuffle, so he knows what that destiny is. He knows if he's going to hit or not.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, depending on what he's got, it wouldn't necessarily shock me if we just see like if his destiny isn't great, I could see a Hondo battle first, just to clear off Luke, and
I don't think
then
Honda's battling. I think he's moving over.
I think he is. I think it depended if he had a bad destiny up there where he just went, okay, I need to get rid of this destiny somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the spot you could think about doing it. And there's Joe with the it's a trap to
Mm-hmm.
cancel the battle. That was why he wanted to save that 3.
Yeah.
And that's good, but like I mean at this point you got to think you're probably just going to have to run everybody from the cantina. So, and I don't know that that's necessarily what you want. But if Hondo moves
Yeah.
away, then you're giving up that Luke drain, and again, just Joe is up in drains. I mean, the cards are kind of an issue right now. Casper's got 20 down and 7 in hand. Joe
Mm-hmm.
has 16 down and 4 in hand. Like Joe literally has as many cards left as Casper has down. And we do see the Hondo battle, which I actually like. I think it's we're just getting rid of him here, and especially if he's got like a wounded warrior here to reduce Luke's power to 0 and prevent him from drawing Battle Destiny. Oh, he does not, because that would have been a response to hitting him.
Yeah.
Oh, Hondo's chopped up pretty good too. Like
Yeah.
I get where you were saying maybe you don't need to battle here. I'm perfectly fine with the battle and just saying I'm going to cost you Luke. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to cost me Hondo. I'm going to send the blaster to used where it's good because I can go get it next turn
Yeah.
and
And
threaten it on Dre and Ponda.
yeah, and he's going to get the power destiny as well. So
Yeah,
like in some instances, I do kind of sometimes like not drawing destiny
I was
just to
just
make
going to
the gun
say,
goes lost.
depending on what he draws here, Joe
Yeah.
might not
But
draw that. Oh, I think Joe's got a total of 12 power and forfeit.
right. Yep.
So yeah, I think Joe should
That
not draw here.
yep. Because that's what I was saying about Shadow Collective. There's very, very few shots that, you lose the forfeit and because
And
they're so big.
Casper adds one. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Eh,
Okay, Joe chooses to draw. I wonder
eh.
if Joe didn't do the math there and realized that drawing meant nothing to him. Because if he doesn't draw, he costs the gun, which would have been much better. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it
Joe's
doesn't.
smart.
Joe's
Yeah.
smart. I agree. This is, there's a reason Joe's the captain and you and I are sitting and talking.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
but I think Joe is extremely smart. Joe is an extremely good player. Joe has made mistakes before. And I think Joe will admit he has made mistakes before. I
Oh
think that might have
yeah.
been I think that might have been a math mistake.
Yeah,
So,
that's one that and it could just be, wrapped up in a moment. We all have made those things. So
oh, for sure.
this is easy for us to make that thought because we get to talk it out and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't have to think about any of the other stuff that's going on and plan for it and look at the cards in my
Hmm.
hand and do all that. I just go, all right, well, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So it is always easier to be the talker than it is to be the player. And
Yeah.
ooh, Joe
So,
is leaving a bunch in reserve.
I mean, he has to clear that site, I would think, do something
But
there.
how? Like
Well,
I'm
he tracked around. He activated down to Kira, so he may activate more.
could
Um,
be. And I mean, like his
yeah,
Destiny are really good in there, and maybe that's he's trying to draw. Well, he had a 6, but then he also had a 1 because his swing to hit Hondo was a 6-1.
yeah.
So like 7 is not good for Battle Destiny. Uh, and that's what I'm thinking is like how does he clear the cantina when
I don't think he was trying to clear the. I think he
he
was just
might
trying to
just be
get.
running. He went to get Kira and now he's gonna
Yeah.
spread, move
Hmm.
everybody from the cantina to Mos Espa or Mos
I
Eisley and
think you. I think you leave Mara there to block with blast the door kid.
yeah. That would be the only that would be the only line. And there we see, so Casper loses a defensive fire from hand.
And you cannot hide forever. So
The you can't hide forever is nothing. I mean, that's
it's a tech card for
for
mains
Jedi.
matchups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it in this match it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we see the working much more closely, and I never ask for anything twice to the drain at Tatooine.
Yeah.
Joe says, I'm going to play an interrupt from Lost. I'm thinking it might be his control. Might
Oh
be
yeah,
seeing control tunnel vision.
Yep.
So, oh, nope, found someone
Or
you
found
have.
some.
All right.
So this will regenerate Luke.
Yep. And found someone you have is takes them into hand, so he can go get Luke. Did he go get Kira, or did he get a Jedi's resilience? Because that would have been, especially if you have a play to go get Luke, that would have been the other thing I would have.
Oh, it probably was the AJR. You're right, because I forgot the three force to pay for
was the It's a Trap.
The It's a Trap, and then, well, no, because he activated 6, because then it would have been AJR Luke, and then he drew the Kira for Destiny. Yeah, okay. It's Kira.
So I was right. Kira. Yeah,
I was right.
That's. I can track when I'm playing. When I'm not playing, I worry too much about talking through the other things that the focus for tracking is not there, and it helps to have a second person where we. Can you recirculate with Han if it's not his battle? Does Han give you a once during battle may recirculate?
It says about piloting the Falcon adds 2 maneuver and once per battle. I'm pretty sure it's only battles involving Han.
Yeah, that would be my thought too. So, and Joe says no, he can't. So Casper says, all right, then I'm less worried about that.
Yeah.
So, because that means Joe is just spreading here and saying, I don't want to take too many pings. And we see Joe moves Mara to Document 94 along with Val, and I think we'll see Corrin and Talon move to Mos Eisley.
Might just be, yeah.
Yeah, Joe says, I don't think you have enough to overflow me. So if you want to pay 3 to drain for 2, he can It's a Hit it from Lost.
Yep.
And what else are you going to do?
And he's probably got his Hoojix in his hand. He would have been able to, and an AJR to get Luke back.
Yeah. Like, I think he's got answers. And I know Joe said that he thought Casper was advantaged this match. He did not think this was going to be over. Joe is a very, very good player and a very good watch your step player, which does make a difference there as well. Like, it's not just, hey, I'm good enough to do this. It's, I'm good and I'm really good with this deck. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Voss draws if unable to otherwise while he's armed.
Yeah.
So, see the ping of 2, which is, again, Casper's just got to keep that up. Joe is starting to be down on cards. Again, this is where that Kessel run would have made a big difference because Joe's down to 16 cards total and Casper's got 23. Like, that's a big difference.
Yeah, do we know what those 4 cards are? One of them's a gun, and I think that's why he activated down to 4. The gun he forfeited in the Hondo battle, and I think he drew a 5.
Yeah, the one was he drew a 6 for the shot.
Yep.
And then he drew a 5 and a 2 for the.
That's right. He drew the first light.
He drew the cold feet for the Destiny to Power, and then the first light for Battle Destiny.
I mean, part of me.
But he also played a Dark Time during Joe's turn, so Dark Time is in there as well.
Yeah, either.
So Joe did not choose to pay his 2 and play It's a Hit from Lost. He just ate that drain of 2 at the Cantina and lost another O-Wings combo, which again, completely immaterial. Like he's fine with losing that right now.
But losing Lando,
And Boshek.
Milos, and Boshek, that's kind of, so he's just running out of
Yeah.
people. So
Running out of dudes is bad because
yeah, I was.
his best case scenario is he runs you out of dudes. And
Mhm.
now Voss has a little bit of immunity there. Unfortunately, he's with Kira, so it's not 5, it's just 3. But 3 isn't nothing. And Watch Your Step still has some low destinies floating around potentially.
Mhm.
So, all right, we see the battle.
He's playing Dodge from Lost.
Yep, to subtract 3 from the draw.
Mhm.
Okay, because Kira's also got some immunity, but it's also a
Well, she's a 5
um.
defensive value.
Is she defense value 5? What am
Yeah,
I?
she has that Terra Cost,
Oh
which is,
yeah, that it is. I was like, because I thought she was 4, and I'm like, a 4 he can still hit there, but 5 he misses. All right, so he added one with Maul to bump it up to 4, which was
it's
a
still a
miss. I
miss.
think that was a mistake. Although the
Yep. So
Battle
he's not.
Destiny's gonna be the 5,
Mhm.
so you're still taking out Kira. Yeah, and
Well,
there Casper says, I made that mistake. Oh,
so
okay.
Kira lives,
Yeah,
which,
that is real good for Joe
yeah.
and bad for Casper.
Mhm.
Although that 3, I guess you can stack the gun, but then
Yeah.
Voss is bad. Like,
Yeah. I
Voss
mean,
is
you
now
have
not drawing Battle Destiny unless you've got some way to get
I
a gun on
imagine
him somehow.
you stunning leader out of the battle. If I
Yeah,
mean, if you're that worried, you have plays around it.
and that might be it. Is you just go, okay, I'm going to stunning leader and call it a day. Now,
Hmm.
is he going to battle Luke?
You can't a 5 because,
5 hits, which then allows you to flip and recirculate.
but I don't think he knows if the five's in there.
Yeah, I mean that would be the question. Is that I thought that was his 5, so we missed subtract something. Oh yeah, it wouldn't have been his 5 because his 5 would have been the card above that.
I think it's the first light.
Yeah, so you're not hitting. I mean, you're still in theory just killing Luke with any battle destiny and forcing Joe to have the AJR or have something.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't like any of these options right
I
now.
honestly, I would just leave it, and then if you have it, just play a defensive fire next turn.
Okay,
Yeah, shows
Casper
what we know.
completely disagrees with us. I will say I'm trying to figure out the line of who he moves from the cantina because I
Hmm.
think you have to. I think you have to spread and you have to block that drain because while you're ahead in force, you
Hmm.
gotta see. But it also depends on if Joe plays the AJR. There's the 1, and here's the 6, and that's where if Casper had read his cards better, he could have subtracted that with Maul. Or no, Maul's
Hmm.
just a weapon. Or Maul's
You can't. He
blaster or
was going to get
battle.
hit regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, just
What he could have
battle
done
or
was,
blaster weapon. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's a little unfortunate, but it depends on if Joe's got the AJR. But Joe also only has 10 cards down. Like
And 3 in hand.
how threatening is Luke when basically if he comes down you do nothing else.
Yeah, the 3 cards in his hand, I doubt one of them was an AJR.
Yeah, I'm tending to agree with you that it's probably not. And we see the 4 for Battle Destiny. And now Joe says, all right, well, I made a mistake once and let you get back the blaster. I'm not doing it a second time. And he declines to draw. So Maul and the blaster go to Lost Pile. Luke goes to Lost Pile. There is no AJR. Both Lukes are dead. I don't think you're going to see another Found Someone you have. Like, I think that's a one of in the deck. And there we
Hmm.
see Dengar move over. We see Rook move over. kind of think you might have to move Dr. Ian Ponda, but I feel a little bad about it. Okay, so he says, I guess with just two guys there, he thinks he doesn't need the Dre and Ponda, so he's going to leave them there. He's going to eat a drain of 5 this turn, which is not ideal, but you're still, I mean, Casper's still at 24 cards down total to Joe's 13. Like, Joe it has started to turn the corner. He's definitely doing a lot of damage, but is he going to get there in time? And we see Joe left 2 in reserve total. So he might be thinking he can just battle Rook and Dengar and draw 2 Battle Destiny and clear them. And that's a good thing. You know, like he's got to figure out, is he ahead on dudes better than Casper?
I think he's so counterpoint. I think the Dengar Rook battle is bad because because he can shoot and make both of them forfeit 0, and so that could be decidedly bad. Plus, Rook can do all his shenanigans. I think.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just wondering, unless he's planning to battle Dryden Voss instead,
I
and
think
says, I'm
that's
going
the
to put
more
another
viable
smuggler.
target. Yeah.
And that could be, and then that's where Casper needs to find a second gun. Oh, he sees that Cad Bane is in Casper's hand using Talon Card, which, I mean, if he didn't expect Casper to have dudes, he was in a mistake there. All right, and there is Dash going with Kira.
Just like not in the movies.
I totally remember that scene from the movies. I don't know.
I don't know what movies you're watching.
Lots of them. Some of them are weird too. All right, so we see the battle go on. I apologize. My mouse was in a weird spot, and y'all got to see Kira get blown up. And there is the stunning leader that we
Is
talked
there a
about as
Quam?
there's not. I think Joe's deciding if he wants to grab that or not, and he does not. Like, Joe hasn't grabbed an interrupt yet. And I'm not entirely shocked by that, but it's just he still hasn't. Like, that's an interesting thing.
So now I move. Yeah, you move over and block the Cantina drain.
So the one thing that Cantina play frightens me a little bit is if Casper's got a gun and has tracked a 5, that could get real spicy. Or if he's got another stunning leader and just says, all right, I'm going to jump Val.
I mean, forfeiting down to the gun, he doesn't have Forlom. He'd have so little left in the reserve deck because it would have been.
And Joe says, I'm not even going to risk that, and moves Talon Card in there as well.
Yeah.
So that does still open up the potential for the stunning leader, the offensive stunning leader battle, but that's not as damaging. Like, Val still forfeits for 6. She's not getting particularly overflowed, and it's cute, but like, you got to have an answer for Voss too. Like, you need a gun for Voss to do something, and I don't know. I mean, Joe's gonna pick some up. That's the thing, is Casper right now has got to be looking at this going, all right, I'm still pinging for 2. I can potentially drain for 2 more.
I mean, this is the turn. I mean, he's not going to flip unless he gets. No,
unless he's got another gangster.
He has to have 2.
Well, he'd have to have 2.
Maul's off the table, so.
Danik isn't a gangster. Voss doesn't control. So, yeah, he's probably not flipping unless he hits with a shot, which would be the other thing. Like, if he's got a gun for Voss, I could absolutely see just okay. Battle, shoot, flip.
If he saves,
wipe the site. Joe saved 3.
No, I'm trying to think of Casper. You'd have to activate down 3, leave 3 left to get the gun.
Okay. Well, because he didn't stack the gun from Maul, so I don't know where the other gun is. Remember, Joe just let him lose the gun with Maul. So
the gun from the Dryden battle with Kira.
Yeah, I'm not even sure where that is. That's buried. So we do see the ping for 2 here. And moving to attack position from hand. So, and Casper does leave 3 in reserve, so he may have the same thing, and they're tracking us from reserve. Casper's got my favorite card here. Joe's going to be in a world of hurt.
Wounded
So,
Warrior or limited resources.
limited resources. You know me.
I
So,
know. Yeah.
I don't think he does, and I know Joe has said publicly that he thinks that's a terrible card and absolutely unworthy of putting into a deck, which is part of why the idea of it getting played on him would make me so, so happy. And there we see the drain of 1, and Joe controls it from Lost Pile, so now he doesn't have any force to stop any potential shenanigans.
I mean, I doubt you're getting overflowed in any of these battles. I mean, a Wounded Warrior beatdown on Corrin is probably your best bet. The Dryad's going to get a gun.
I mean, theoretically, a Shoot Kira and Wounded Warrior, like now he knows what his reserve deck is. If he has 2 5s in there where he could shoot Kira and Wounded Warrior, then he's only facing 1 Battle Destiny and could, at least in theory, end up with Voss surviving the battle.
No, if
And
he Wounded Warrior's Kira, he's facing no Battle Destiny because Dash has to be piloting the draw.
no, you still get +1 for 2 smugglers, though.
That's right. You get the, yeah.
I may not be as good at Watch Your Step as Joe, but I have played it a
There's
time or 75.
Wounded Warrior, I always think just blanks the card so they lose like attributes as well, but that's not how
Yeah.
it works.
No, it just is should be power 0 and can't apply her ability.
Yeah.
But because there's 2 smugglers there, and there we see Cad Bane in front of Corrin, which is just, again, Casper saying, well, I don't want you to drain. And if he gets a hit through, okay, so he's not even bothering. He says, I'm not battling either. I'm far enough ahead right now. If I just trade 4 for 2 for the rest of the game, I'm winning. And frankly, he's right. Like,
who, Casper?
Casper, like, Casper has 8, 10, 11, 16 cards to Joe's 10.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Joe has to do something to change the math. And
Joe goes down to 8. Joe goes down to 6.
Yeah.
Like, it gets real tight. I do actually think there's a chance Casper still, like, if this just turns into a pure race, I think Joe might still be marginally ahead because he doesn't have to pay for damage. But if Casper has enough force to get any drains through, it gets real bad for Joe.
I mean, Joe could land the Falcon at the docking bay and block that drain.
Yeah.
If he needed to.
And then he gives up a drain of 2, which is.
No, I'm saying, but then the next turn, Casper's only doing.
Yeah.
2 damage.
And there we see the Shizor go off the top, which might be why Casper didn't battle, is when he went and got that gun, he saw his Destiny were just not good. And Proxima from hand, the Proxima's a little bit of a surprise. Like, I mean,
Proxima can only go to the...
She could go to the docking bay, the cantina, the Cloud City site, or either of the first light sites. So, and we see Lana Dobreed from hand and Point Man off the top. So, yeah, Casper had a 50-50 to hit Kira or Dash in that battle. And there we see Talon card reveals a Cold Feet, which Casper might have been holding for an AJR and now is probably going to just put down to cycle.
Yeah, but that's what Joe would grab.
And that's fine. Like, at that point, you just go, okay, fine, grab it, Joe. Like, make Joe grab it. Make Joe have the force to grab it. Like, you could have played it last turn when Joe didn't have any force to grab.
Yeah.
And, it makes it harder to track. It makes it harder to get what you want, but it's not a impossible play. And Joe's got to figure out, because like any other interrupts he needs to play now, he's going to pay 4 for, and he's only got 9 cards down. So, like, there's only so much moving he can do before he can't play an interrupt from Lost. Like I think he's got to move everyone out of the cantina. Like that just feels like a terrible spot to be in. Yep. And I wouldn't hate doing a, well, yep, he's splitting. So he's going 2 to Mos Eisley, 2 to the docking bay. That does mean Casper's only pinging for 1 now, which is good.
And he still has enough force to play that it's a hit from Lost.
Yep, to cancel the drain of 2, which is also good.
It buys him a turn before he does the land.
Gotta use some force too, though. Like I think we might actually see I could see
retrieval.
Walkling retrieval, and maybe swapping the skate and the falcon just to use another force. Yeah, Walkling retrieval should probably have happened at any point. Like Joe needs the fort, he's. Oh, all right. So he's thinking of leaving Talon in there. So Casper, being a good guy, saying sure we can take a revert, and lets him keep Talon in the cantina, which is a choice. Like it says he's sitting on a Blast the Orchid.
Yep.
From Lost, and says, I think that's
or from
enough.
Hand.
Possible. It is possible that's his 1 card. So. And Joe says, actually, I'm going to redo a few of the moves, and I think that's.
Yeah, I think he's probably trying to send Mara to
Mos Eisley.
Try to maybe Talon over there and leave. No, Val's got to go with. Okay, Talon's going. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then move Val
and
over
then
with
Val
him.
goes over to Corrin, or Val moves with Talon. And you
Val's
got to
go with Talon.
Okay.
And then you.
That's the opposite of what I expected. All right. Okay. Yeah. That move makes enough sense. You're still you end up in the same position of Mos Eisley and Daki Bay 94 each have 2 smugglers at them.
Yeah.
And you still have enough force to use your.
There's your Walkling retrieval.
Yep, there's the Walkling. You still have enough force to play your. It's a hit from Lost. If Casper pays to drain, which I think he might.
And we have no idea because we haven't seen a Hujix. I don't think. I mean, he could be running an escape pod combo somewhere to stop the ping, but we just don't know.
Yeah, and that might be like he's hoping to draw it, and Casper can't grab that, which would be really good for Joe. And there we see the cold feet. So now that cold feet's actually a really good play, because if Joe grabs it, he can't play a card from Lost.
And Joe knows that, so he's just going to let it go. So the 5's going to go through and hit Talon, and he'll be able to recirculate.
Oh. No, Joe says he's going to grab it, and he says, fine, you can drain me for 2. I need to.
He may have drawn into a second control tunnel vision. That's why he was okay doing it.
And that's possible, because he does have a second one in deck. We saw him draw it for Destiny earlier. So that might be where that went. And he says, hey, let's see if I can bait you out of getting this grabbed.
Yep.
Joe has turned the corner on the math. I mean, Joe's got 11 cards total to Casper's 11 cards total. Like, Joe is turning the corner on the math. It's can he keep it there, and what happens if Casper is able to start removing his guys.
Okay. I'm very curious if Casper, what he force push for, because this is the turn I drop first light at Corellia and make him come after me if I sell my Gick.
Yeah. And.
Or, just so that way I could get some drains in for free, but it may be a little too late.
Yeah, I think that would have been an earlier play, and we see, so Casper activates leaving 2. which at least threatens a. So he's looking at his reserve to see if he can do something. If he can hit, like I think what we're looking
Mm-hmm.
at is, I think he's probably trying to line up the Battle at Cloud City plus Wounded Warrior.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that's his best play. Like unless he's got another gun to put on CAD and try and do the same thing.
It'd be tough to find the other gun because there's no
Yeah.
way to have tracked it around by now.
No, it would only have been if he drew into it.
Yeah.
So, and there's the ping for one with You'll Be Dead. And there goes the Hujix from hand, which I think is the right play. Joe at this point says, I am not going to need the Hujix. He held it for a
Mm-hmm.
long time. And I think Casper's deciding, do I make him control the drain? And I think it depends a lot on what his other cards are. And there is the pays 3 to drain for 2. And
There it
there's
is.
the control. So it's, I mean, he effectively paid 3 to drain for 1. It's not
Mm-hmm.
the worst thing he's done. Now he's not going to drain for 1 at the first light. Oh, all right. Then
I
he's
mean,
not
what
going to
else is he
battle.
spending the force on?
It
He can
would
spend one
be,
to battle.
then he can't move Rook though.
I don't think he cares that much.
I don't think you want to leave Rook there against Talon and Corrin when Rook doesn't draw Battle Destiny. I mean, I think that's part of the issue is like where I think you
If you
almost,
have your Gick though, you block
you block a drain
that
of 1
piece.
and
If
you
you think you're
potentially
gonna hit,
kill a guy or 2, I guess.
right, but then you flip and then you ping from the objective as well. So
Yeah,
like,
possibly. I mean, you got to imagine CAD's probably also dying.
and you get to put a force back from the gun. So like, there is a
Yeah,
benefit to that. So these are like the when you're talking about 1 or 2, these are the things going through your head.
agreed. There are some lines there where without seeing his hand, because obviously as commentators we don't get to see the hand, we don't
Mm-hmm.
know what exactly he's considering for a line, and he could also have a dark time combo in hand
Mm-hmm.
just to say, okay, this is what I got. So we see the battle. He shoots at Dash, which tells me he wasn't confident he would hit Kira, but he was confident he would hit Dash
Yep.
because it made any Wounded Warrior play not work. But
Yep.
it does
It clears a site more than
probably clear
likely.
the site because especially now he can use Rook to take a card, and that might be the, do I take like a dark time
Mm-hmm.
to activate 1 to be able to do something with it, and he'll add the Destiny to power now with Dryden Voss, so Voss is not getting overflowed,
No,
and
and you
he'll
get
be
to
able
put a
to
gun.
put the gun back as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he does play the Wounded Warrior. All right.
Which is just putting a card back.
Yeah, it's just cycles the card, but it also makes it even less likely that he's going to take any possible overflow.
Mm-hmm.
And says, yeah, fine. Like again, the goal here for Casper is just make sure you don't get beat up. And he doesn't
Yeah,
add a Destiny to power. That's interesting.
it doesn't. He may not have wanted to take the risk if he knew the 3 was going to hit
And that could be. So we
to
see the
clear her immunity.
total
So
is
at
6
that
for
point,
Battle Destiny.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It did exactly what we said. It wipes the site.
Mm-hmm.
And Casper gets a card back with the blaster.
You don't take an unnecessary risk that you draw into a 1, or there's at least one other copy of Shizor floating around.
Yep. And that makes a ton of sense. And I don't hate that play because again, with the Wounded Warrior, you're not getting overflowed.
Mm-hmm. So he
So
effectively went up 2 cards
we went up
and
1 because the Wounded Warrior he probably took with Rook and then played immediately
oh
because he
yeah,
took
that's
a card
true.
with Rook. So he went up 1 card to take down 2 more of Joe's guys.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, like depending on what is in his hand, like if his hand is defensive fire and Gick, he might be perfectly happy with Rook sitting there and honestly threatening actual like problems. Like he could just shoot them both dead. And there we're going to see one more ping. So Joe's going to be down to 7 cards total. And there went to 6 off the top. So Joe has 6 cards down and one in hand.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to drain for 4 here though, which is good. And Joe said hitting that 50-50 gunshot may have won you the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe knew what that other card was as well. So we don't know, and I think he's right. I think if Casper doesn't make that play,
Joe wins the math race. You're
yeah,
absolutely right.
Joe is absolutely winning the math race. Like I think Joe still is potentially winning the math race, but it's getting closer.
I think he has to do the move Val and Mara into the cantina.
Stunning leader in the Black Sun Blaster off the top.
Land the Falcon. And then whatever. Because then
defensive fire
it's
from
2-2.
And working much more closely. So he did have the defensive fire. Like right now, Casper can do 4 damage. And we see Prince Shizor is the card in hand, so Joe also has to be cognizant of if he spreads those guys at all, Shizor drops and says, you don't draw Destiny.
Yeah, but they're forfeit at this point.
Yeah, they're forfeit, but it's losing guys is rough. Like losing the guy puts him in the position where the next turn he's got even less he can do battle-wise.
The ping at the end of that turn is what changed the math.
Yep.
Because he can move.
He can still move. He can land the Falcon.
And even if he drops Shizor, you have a ton of forfeit everywhere.
Well, so the problem with landing the Falcon, so if you move Talon and Corrin into block the Cantina, you land the Falcon, Shizor comes down with Rook, you don't draw at all.
Yeah, Rook but you don't have enough force to shoot. Well,
yeah, you do. You activate 5.
Shizor the 4, right?
You activate 5. You leave 2. Left. Rook adds to his shot, doesn't he? Does something? I don't know. He doesn't anymore. That was so. But Chewie's only defense value 2. Like.
Yeah, but you land the Falcon at. Can you land it at Mos Eisley?
Yeah. I guess, and then you move Mara and Val into the Cantina.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, moving anyone into the Cantina, you have to consider the Dr. E plus Dengar could do real bad things.
Yeah, okay, he's using force. He's swapping people around.
He's doing a couple swaps. He's leaving 4 force, so he can still play the...
He's not... He can play the...
He's also covering Shizor everywhere.
Yeah, so he can use the control tunnel vision from Lost.
Yeah, he can control tunnel vision, or he can use the it's a hit. Either way to cancel that drain. And Shizor alone does not flip.
Nope, because there's not a second gangster. So the only thing that would is
although
a hit.
I'm not sure. I don't still hate throw Shizor with Rook, battle, shoot Val, so you get the flip, you add a Destiny to attrition, you add a Destiny to power, you clear that site, and you can probably just lose the Blaster and Shizor.
Yeah, that's the movement that I didn't love, because you wanted to protect, because Talon would have been a 5 and Corrin would have been a 6, so you at least make it harder for Rook to hit.
Yeah.
Because Val is just like easy pickings for a Blaster.
Val is doing nothing.
At least with Mara, she was safe, because then it would have required Shizor and a gun at that site.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is he doesn't have the gun. There is one in reserve somewhere, but I don't think he can get to it. So we see he activates 6. I expect we'll see a search for something.
He doesn't know what that is either.
No, he doesn't,
It's
but he can
oh
search
wait,
with,
he does. He does. It's from the recirculate.
does he? Oh, yeah.
It is.
It's not Shizor
It's
in that
the
case.
wounded warrior.
Yeah, or is it
I think.
the, yeah, I think it
I think
is.
it's the wounded. I think it's the wounded warrior.
Yeah, which means he hits, actually, he could hit Val or Corin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing is, if it's the Wounded Warrior, okay, Joe lost his card from hand. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
Joe has a dodge to subtract 3 from the shot,
He already played it, so it's stacked.
yeah, if he's got another one, that would be his out. But so I don't think you drain here.
Oh, well, he can't pay to drain. He can blast the door at the docking bay. That's the other thing we keep forgetting.
Well, if you blast the door at the
Oh
docking bay,
no,
then
he
you have
can't.
Val versus Rook. Rook
Oh no,
still
he
shoots
can't.
Val.
He can't. It's too many. It's one force because it's
Oh,
4 to stack and then 1. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. I'm trying to think of
So you're right. He
what's in this
can't
lost
blast the
pile.
door. I'm like, and
Yeah, I'm
even if
just
he
trying to
could,
think.
like, then you have Val versus Rook, and you lose Val,
Mm-hmm.
and now Corin is bait against Shizor
Yep.
the next turn, although you're getting tight on force. Yeah, and I think that's okay. So he says he decides not to drain, he decides not to battle. Instead, we're going to see a drain, and it might
I
be
mean,
I don't
he's
know.
forcing Joe out of his tricks, right? So it bought
Yeah,
him a turn, but that turn might be all Joe needs to change the math on this one.
yeah. I actually think the math on this is I'm not sure the math was perfect with Shizor,
Mm-hmm.
but this way the math is done. Like Casper's going to lose 4 next turn. He can't stop that. And he's only pinging for 2. Like actually what I think I'd like to see here is swap Rook with Dengar and Dr. E and threaten another ping, although Joe just moves in. Like
I
I
think
think
Joe just
Joe
won.
has this game. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that drain was a mistake. They're just, unless he thinks he's going to find some sort of great battle trick, as he tried to deploy Maul, which gave him the search, so we know what the destiny is. Now, does he have some sort of trick he can use to hit with Rook and cause the flip? And maybe that's just it. So you hit
Mm-hmm.
with Val, you cause the flip, you take a card. I mean, again, maybe if if you get the Wounded Warrior back, oh, he knew what it was. So yeah, you shoot Corin.
It's the Wounded Warrior.
Yeah, no, so he hits him with the 4. So we see the flip. We'll see the recirculate, the shuffle, the take a card from with Rook.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
I
if he
mean,
can get back the Wounded Warrior,
it's Geb
that would
Shuffle. Who
be
knows?
insane.
Geb
That would
Shuffle. Who
be
knows?
that would probably give him a chance at the win. Um, but let's see. Let's whatever he got into hand, he didn't play it right away, and now the clock is on Joe. So
Yep.
he did not get the thing. So he can go, he'll have a total of 11 in power and forfeit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 4 power, and then he's got 7 forfeit between the gun and Rook. And we see the first destiny is a 4. I think this is a 2 then, so it's a 6. So Rook's going to cover. Which will send the gun back. Which, again, helps Casper. Just gives him another force to play with. I think you move Dengar in front of Val. And I think
Yeah, because
that's
you're getting
it.
a Destiny everywhere.
Yeah. Dengar at least draw a Battle Destiny. Like, I think you have to just move Dengar in front of Val. You're going to ping for 1. I still think Joe wins this game, but it is real tight. So, and it also depends a little bit on what that one card Casper drew was.
Mm-hmm.
Like we still don't know what it was, and it could end up being something impactful. So it could also end up being a nothing card, but like, and okay, so he moves Dre and Ponda instead of Dengar. That's fine. I guess I don't hate leaving Dengar in the Cantina because then
You get 2 shots to
you
hit
get 2
somebody, and then you
shots and a Battle Destiny, and Joe has to be cognizant of that. Like,
can. Mm-hmm.
it's not an ideal solution. And then he draws his bottom card, which is fine. It's
Because Joe drains for 4. He shuffles everyone over to the Cantina. He
yeah.
lands Chewy, and Casper does 1 damage. Pays
Yeah,
for
maybe drains
pays
for
for
a
1
second one.
drain and can't battle anywhere else. I mean, he could try, but I
I
don't
mean,
think he's
in
gonna do
theory,
much.
he could battle with Dengar just to get the shot and get the flip ping. Like, Joe has to consider that he's got to be careful he doesn't just get knocked off ground completely.
He can't
Because
if he lands one of the ships.
if he lands one of the ships, then he gives up a drain of 2, though, which turns the math, I think, into Casper's favor because Casper's still got a free damage he's pinging off.
Yeah, but
So,
then Joe just has to survive 2 turns, which I think he
yeah,
can.
it's going to be tight. So Joe activates, he leaves 2. Feel like that might be a battle CAD. Like, I feel like I don't know that there's necessarily a downside to just, okay, I'll battle CAD, take him out. Even if I lose Talon,
Move Mara over,
move
block
Mara in front of
Dengar.
Dengar. Like because then you also means that if you battle with Dengar, you hit, you flip, you don't have 3 battlegrounds to get the ping off.
Satisfiers. Right.
Well, to satisfy resistance and to get the ping
Mm-hmm.
from your objective. There goes Aura with Gun from hand and Wounded Warrior from reserve. So, yep, he didn't draw it. So he's got Shizor and Blank in hand. There we see the other drain of 2. There goes the Shizor from hand. Yep, that was the card he had to lose. And First Light off reserve. So he's got 1 card in hand and 4 in reserve. And the Imperial Barrier is the card in hand, so functionally a dead card. Joe has no cards in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have lost that before I lost either card off reserve.
Yep.
So, mostly because I don't think there's anything you're bluffing in hand. There's nothing going on right now on table that Joe has to be worried about a card in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there is exactly what we said, battle against CAD, and Joe, I think, draws a 6 here. Well, no, Niendub is dead, so he draws choke and something. The choke might be choking, they're tracking us. So that puts him up to 15. Oh, not even choke. I'm terrible at tracking, apparently. So 16 to 4, CAD covers 5. Basically, Casper needs a 12 here, or a 7 here, and doesn't draw it. That 3 will kill a thing, but that's game.
That's game.
Like, that 4 battle damage is game. Casper can deal 1 damage. He can ping for 1, but that's it.
Yep. He can't block, so yep, Joe turned a corner and
yeah. And we see the good game. Well played, Joe. Got that corner turned and pulled it out. Congratulations, Joe Olsen and America. Not sure exactly how many games. America's at an advantage here. They're doing well. So
I think it's 5-1 right now.
Getting close. Well, spectacularly played by both players. This was a lot of fun to watch. Thank you for joining me. I think both of us have to go get back to work though. So,
Yes, my lunch break is over.
and mine has been for a little while, but
Yep.
fortunately my boss is very flexible. So, all right. Well, you have a great day. Thank you all
You as
for
well.
watching. May the force be with y'all.